Hey everyone, how's it going? Azrin here, owner of the Calgary Language Nerds, and welcome to today's Learn Gujarati with me podcast episode, and of course, YouTube video. Today's lesson is going to be a short one. It actually is something that I could have included in yesterday's lesson. It just didn't occur to me until today. So one of the people who watches these lessons, he took some Gujarati classes with me privately, and he asked me an interesting question. He's like, Azran, like sometimes when you have a word in Gujarati, the invisible vowel disappears in the middle of a word. So let me share my screen and show you what I mean in case you haven't noticed this. So, and we talked about this yesterday too. In yesterday's lesson, this was like the main focus of yesterday's lesson, frankly. We were talking, or one of the main focuses anyway, we were actually talking about this concept, right? So we said that in Gujarati, when you have a consonant sound, which is not how this works in English, by the way, if I have a consonant like the letter ka, right? This is the letter K in Gujarati. This is the letter K, right? While in English, if I have the letter K, it's just the letter K. There's nothing after it. It's not ka or ku or ki or it's just letter K, just like one letter, right? But in Gujarati, when we have a consonant, we have an invisible vowel sound attached to that letter. So this is actually like ka. There's an invisible sound. So if I have a word like, I'll just write a random word, right? If I write something like, oops, here we go. Let's cut this, move this up. Okay. So if I write it like an English word or a Gujarati word rather, like let's do let's do the following. This is chamchi, right? Chamchi. Chamchi is a teaspoon, right? Teaspoon. So in Gujarati, right? This cha, notice how there's like a vowel here. Chamchi, cha, right? Chamchi. Well, in Gujarati, there's no vowel. If you can't read the script, don't worry. Just like there's no vowel. It's just the one consonant, but there's an invisible So this is like one thing I unpacked in yesterday's lesson. And the student today asked me something different. He said, Azrin, look, sometimes in the middle of a word, that vowel sound disappears. Where does it go? So I'll give a perfect example right in front of us now. In the word chamchi, we have cha, ma, chi. So someone who could read the Gujarati script might ask themselves, Azrin, what the heck? Why is this not chamachi? Why is a teaspoon chamchi and not chamachi? Hey, look at my chamachi. Look, it's a chamachi. Why is it not chamachi? Why is it chamchi? Where did why is the invisible here? Why is it gone? But in this first syllable, cha, right? Why is that one not gone? Why is it not shmachi? Why is it not shmachi? Like, why is it not chumchi? Or why is it chumchi? Why the heck is that happening? Well, I've been asked this question many times. I also have been wrestling with this question for about 8 years. 8 years of trying to figure this out. So I'm going to give you the answers that I've come up with so far. One of them I discovered today, thanks to the one student, the one private student, and we kind of like talked it through, and we found a pattern that I hadn't noticed before. So I have a partial answer. I don't have a full answer. So let's start here. When a word ends in a consonant, like I don't know, like like gam, right? This ma, it's that invisible vowel sound disappears. It's never gamma, it's just gam, right? So when a word ends in a consonant, like ma, for example, that invisible vowel sound, we cancel it out. That I told you yesterday. Now, if we have a word like chamchi, let's go back to chamchi, right? Chamchi, teaspoon, right? In the word chamchi, what I think is happening, right? I think that in the middle of like if you're looking at that vowel sound in the middle of a word, very regularly you're gonna drop it. Like you're just gonna cut it out. It's not a perfect science, but it does work quite often. If we have a consonant that like starts a word, then by all means, like we're not going to get rid of that sound. We're going to keep it. So chumchi, we keep it. We keep that vowel sound. We don't get rid of it. But because in ma, if that's in the middle of a word, we're not going to say chummachi. We're going to get rid of that and say chumchi. Now, again, is that a perfect science? No, it is not a perfect science. But that happens pretty regularly. I'll give you another example word like this. Kaguro. Crow. So the word for crow is kaguro. Kaguro. Technically, it should be kaguro. 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 Hey, look, it's a kaguro. It's a kaguro, right? Like, look at that kaguro in the sky. But we don't say kaguro. We say kaguro. Like kaguro. We get rid of that And again, same thing. Oops. This ga is in the middle. We drop that that in the middle of a word. Again, is it a perfect science? No, absolutely not a perfect science, but that does happen at least quite regularly. If this word were kaguro, it's not a word, of course, but if this was kaguro, not kaguro, same thing. I would never get rid of this vowel sound, this invisible in the script where you don't see it written. We would never drop it in the beginning, but in the middle we would. So if the word was like, I don't know, I'll make up some random word. Like if I made up a word like there, let's just do this for example. Like yeah, anyway, you get the concept. Like in the middle of a word, like often you're going to drop it. Again, is that perfectly what's going on? Unfortunately not. There's some other rule that's in play that I can't figure out. Now, there's one more rule I've noticed today, thanks to the student I was teaching, that I wanted to point out to you. When you have verbs, so I'll just write a bunch. Modavu, godavu, um, chalvu, right? So here, modavu, godavu, chalavu. Okay, this is to meet, or yeah, to meet, to do, to walk. In words like this, the letter before vu, if it has an like ma, gara, or sorry, ra, la, right? We're gonna drop that invisible sound. So mar vu, kar vu, chal vu. It's not gonna be chala vu. It's not kara vu. It's not mara vu. It's mar vu, kar vu, chal vu. Um, like bun vu, not banavu, but bun vu, right? So we also drop it in these verbs in the infinitive forms. So yeah, as I said, we could have added this to yesterday's lesson. I could have just talked about it yesterday. It just didn't occur to me till today when a student is asking me. So that's that. If you ever have any Gujarati questions, by the way, you're more than welcome to ask. Like I don't say this very often, but a lot of the Gujarati videos I make are fed by my students, like the private students I teach. Like they have questions or they need something, so I make it. And so if you have questions or stuff like that, you're more than welcome to ask, and I'd be happy to help. If you do want to take any private lessons with me, by the way, just go to my website. It's in the episode description box, but website is just azrinthelanguagenerd.com. azrinthelanguagenerd.com. There's a Google form on that page, and just click on that and fill it out, and then I'll contact you with information on lessons. So yeah, that's that. Have a good day. Aujo. Bye.